everyone. Once again, Anthony, Josh, Skylar, Josh. Oh, two Joshes. Vince, Sherlyn, Angelo, Isaiah. But yes, is everyone good? What anyone's day is going well, or you guys do anything exciting here at as keepers from the podcast?
Ooh, nice guitar, Keeper Anthony.
I was like,
Oh, my bad.
was
I'm
that?
sorry.
No, you good.
No,
I was like,
we
was that
can
me?
we can have a preview for our upcoming talent show later on.
Wow, yes, sir. Keeper Josh, our co-host for today, is very right, actually. You know, especially if you would like to perform. So everyone kindly prepare that, as well as, you know, your videos, pre-recorded versions, or, you know, dance moves, if that's what your heart desires. But once again, hope everyone is doing well. Everyone's, you know, weekend went well, and, you know, hope it gets even better, you can say, right? So let us start with our program now. So let me do this. And once again, thank you for being our co-host today, Keeper Josh. So
It's my
here we go.
pleasure.
Let's get started, shall we? So once again, actually, just like every episode, we have a disclaimer. You know, just make sure everyone remembers this. That's rated everyone. So kindly avoid cursing, sharing anything traumatic. Please prevent from saying anything that goes against our slogan. I am my brother's keeper, and of course, have fun. Right? So, thank you so much for everyone joining, and of course, thank you for always cooperating and feeling welcome at the podcast. So, once again, Keepers Club podcast, and this is episode 48. Right? 48. Almost 2 more episodes till 50, and like 950 more towards our goal. But with that being said, are you able to see it, by the way, Keeper Josh? And can you kindly read what our topic today is?
All right, for today's Keeper Club podcast is societal pressure. I'm sure everybody has heard of this, or at least experienced this before. It's really of how it can like really get into a lot of people, especially well, rolling across all ages. Actually, there's pressure when you're still young to your teenage years and to even when you become an adult. Uh, so what else? Now, societal pressure is something that can always be present, but today in this podcast, we're gonna talk more about it, and we're gonna be discussing in how to essentially escape from the pressure and live as you would.
Yes, thank you, Keeper Josh. And you know, to not give too much away. Let's start with our program, though, shall we? Right? Like we'll jump into it a lot later. But once again, thank you, Keeper Josh. And for anyone that has not heard of Keepers Club before, we just want to give a little brief history, you know, for anyone who is tuning in. So, Keepers Club International, or KCI, was first established by Pastor Paulo G. Kibuloy and was first established in June 1986 in Davao City, Philippines. Since then, KCI has spread all over the globe, gaining thousands of keepers worldwide. We'd have jam sessions, outings, attractive small group sharing and discussions, and KCI is not only in the Philippines, but in other countries like here in the United States of America, Canada, United Kingdom, Italy, Belgium, Spain, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, Malaysia, Japan, and many more. So, for our introduction, once again, we are the Keepers Club podcast, and we are a podcast to help, guide, encourage, and uplift the youth. We do this through Zoom, is where we host our official podcast. YouTube is where we post our full episodes, and on Facebook is where we post our group photos. We do this every Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Central time, and 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the reason we do so is because I am my brother's keeper. We strive to gather, bonding, and sharing with keepers all over the U.S. So, for our experience, I think it'd be better off if we could hand the floor to Keeper Josh. So, take it away, Keeper Josh.
So generally, my past experience of our uh, topics. Wait, what? Oh yeah. Okay. So the topics for our podcast generally relates to talking about um, problems as being a youth. Like our topic today, struggles of. Wait, no. Our topic today, societal pressure, is something that a lot of us deal, especially when we're growing up, becoming a teenager, and growing up, becoming an adult. So, in this podcast, we like to explore all of these topics, and that um, we really want to help as many keepers out there as we can, and yeah, that's why we have these podcasts. So that is
Yes. Wow, thank you, Keeper Josh. And yes, with that being said, you know, also too, of course, all of our topics relate to the struggles of being a youth, just like Keeper Josh said. Also, such a huge privilege. It really is a privilege. We'll talk more about that later. Yours truly as well. I wanted to kindly speak about that toward the end of the episode. But also it is very humbling, truly very humbling, right? So if then there's anyone to thank, always it doesn't belong to me, to Keeper Josh, to any of the keepers in the episode. Of course, we always appreciate, um, for making it all possible. The keepers that always join, but it's always because of Keepers Club International as well as the founding president. So that being said, is there any keeper willing to maybe share a few words about their experience or their hopes for the podcast or how it's been treating you, not only a podcast, but also maybe Keepers Club as a whole?
Um, we're just sharing experiences, right? Okay. So I just want to share, because I haven't in a while because I have always been doing multitask, but even though I multitask, I always pay attention and listen for everything that everyone says. Um, and of course, it's nice to see, um, for my experience, it's nice seeing young people come out of their shell in talking in public. Because technically, this is talking in public since we are in front of, say, strangers that you've probably never seen in person, but just online. But it's nice to see everyone coming out of their shell, and I really like that for this podcast because it encourages growth, not just stagnation in public speaking.
Yes, co-keeper Anthony. Likewise too. You know, not only for ourselves to really get better kind of at communicating, also presenting ourselves, but as well as seeing the other keepers grow. So anyone else, by the way, especially those who are kind enough to have their video on or even put on a suit on. How are you, by the way, John John? How you feeling, John John? Can I hear you, by the way?
Blessed.
Wow. Yes. Amen to that. Keeper John John. But would you like to share, John John?
About the experiences of youth people.
Yes, sir.
So most teenagers have has some experience with like mass shootings. They want to kill all the people.
Sorry, my camera or my video.
So most teenagers wanted to. So most teenagers have shot so many people because probably because of their parents, the way how they raised them, and they're going through a lot of stress. Just pray for those who are in stress.
Yes, that's true.
That's right. Keeper John John. Actually, about this stress and pressure, we're gonna be talking about it soon later in this podcast. It's about relating to our topic, social pressure. Was it? So basically, we're gonna have we're gonna be talking about pressure from basically your parents or people in general, and that can like really make people can really put people in stress, and that I think what you're saying is that it can really lead to stuff like that, and I think this is why we're trying to talk about these problems so that we can hopefully share solutions to prevent those kinds of problems to more people.
Yes, sir. So thank you, Josh, as well as John, and as much as we can too. Let's try to be, positive or talk about good, positive, happy things. But thank you once again, John, and hopefully we'll get more. Maybe we could talk about more of our experience, not only here from the podcast, but also Keepers Club International after our discussion. So let's do this and this. So icebreakers, right? Just to kind of loosen up, of course, before our discussion and for our icebreakers today. Can you kindly name them out really quick, Keeper Josh, and I'll be willing to explain them.
All right. So our icebreakers for this podcast: what's in the box? Would you rather? And finish the sentence.
Yes. So that being said, thank you, by the way, Josh. I want to show your face too while you're saying it. But so what's in the box? I'll do an example, right? It's pretty much like two truths, one lie, but a variation. So you pretty much have to be as detailed as possible, but then the keepers have to decide if you're telling the truth or not, right? So for example, ideally, if you have a box, if not, just hide it from your screen like this. But I have a box right here, right? So it's going to be like this. For example, so you have to determine if I'm telling the truth or a lie. But in this box are my favorite snacks, right? Like chips called picnic chips, right? Also my favorite candy, gummy bears. There's also canned boba tea, right? And also Mr. Beast chocolate. So what I was saying, is it a truth or a lie? Anyway,
All of it? Is it a truth or a lie?
yeah.
I'm thinking lie.
It's the truth.
Angela says lie. Josh said truth. Nah, I'm a bad liar though, but I mean, I know it's not actually. It's just snacks, but it's like if I'm about to die of starvation. But so good job to Angelo and Anthony. But pretty much, now it's your turn. For example, so you have to determine. Try to be as detailed as possible, but see if it's like a truth or a lie. And if not two, you could also do two truths, one lie. But would anyone like to go or participate for our icebreaker today?
Okay. So the purpose is to lie or not lie.
It's up to you.
What we have in a box, but we have to have a box.
Up to you. So
Okay.
like last week, for example, too, I was saying what was in the box, and what I was saying was the truth. So it's up to you if you want to chew or lie, and then it's up to us.
Okay. So in
Go, Anthony.
Can I go? Can I go?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. In my box, I have a Beats Studio 3 that is black with a cord and a transformer. Not the transformer figurines, but to plug into something. And then I have a Madeline Lego, a Wrinkle in Time book that is yellow like fall colors in the front of the book. And I have a iPhone that is blue.
This box is huge.
I feel like I butchered that. Did I do it right or wrong? You guys have to tell me if I'm lying or not.
Can I ask you a
Yes.
question?
Okay, what is the question?
What? How big is this box?
I don't know, maybe like a 12 by 8. It fits the things there in a 12 by 8 box.
So it's true.
My box.
I want to say you're telling the truth, but then when you laughed, I feel like you're lying.
But I'm not. I didn't
I'll say
laugh.
truth though.
I didn't laugh. Did I laugh? Okay, wait. I forgot one last thing. In my box is it's a basket that has checkered patterns.
Oh, so it's false then. It's a lie. Because
I'll
it
say
has
truth.
that.
Why
Yes.
is it a box? I mean, why is it a box? Why is it a lie?
Because of just that last detail.
Okay, fine. Do I show you?
Up to you, but at least tell us truth or lie.
Oh, it didn't even show it. I was telling the truth.
Mm.
Let me see. Checkered with my beads, my and my Wrinkle in Time book. It's not really.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm trying to read again. So I'm reading all of the children book that I have.
What? That was nice.
I think Keeper Skylar know where this is from. Hold on. No, it doesn't work.
Blurry.
Yeah, it's
Your background's blurred, but that's
Oh,
nice of you to show us.
I got him that basket and I filled it full of snacks. It's share products, and that's what we did a Christmas gift exchange.
yeah. I don't know why is it not. Let me.
I mean, up to you. I think your background's blurred. That's why your virtual background.
Like this.
Oh.
My stuff was there.
Well, nice plaid basket, Ton.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to turn off my.
Okay.
No, you good. You good. Oh, you trying to go, John?
Yeah.
But nice
In
one, by
my
the way,
bo-
Anthony.
In my
and
box,
Skylar.
I have a lanyard, a small notebook, and a pen.
Sure.
Lie?
Okay. Let's reveal 3,
Yeah, sure.
The
Go,
lie?
John.
2, 1.
Slide.
One.
Okay. Forgot my pen. It's down here.
Go, John.
Let's get started. I know this.
Oh, well. Was it the truth, by the way?
Yeah, that's truth.
Oh.
Go,
Go, John. From
You
Bora
break out.
Bora.
I would like
Nice one,
to.
John. Oh, yes, Josh.
I would like to show my. Ask what's in it. Let me get it first.
You good. Yeah, John.
All
It's
right.
good, John. You take notes.
In this box, there is a pick inside.
Huh? A fig?
A pick. There is a pick inside this box.
Like a guitar pick?
Yeah.
How can you get a pick inside of a guitar?
It happens a lot. Like this thing here.
Skylar says true. I want to say
Mm,
false. I feel like there's more than one pick.
Oh, I'm gonna say this.
I'm
It
going
can be. It doesn't matter how many, like
strings,
Uh,
picks. Yeah.
everyone kindly get in your guesses. I'll say false though.
Yeah, same.
Same.
Yeah.
Skylar says true.
all false, one true. All right. Should I say it?
Yeah.
Go co-host.
All right.
Yeah.
So for those who didn't know or just forgot, I use my nails. I don't use picks, so I don't have any picks in this guitar.
So you use
Wow.
fingers like nails?
Yeah.
No.
That's good, Josh. Wow.
It's normal.
I remember you playing always when we were in LA. You're playing a lot, and then I should have known. Also, I was thinking that too. I don't use picks either. So nice one, Josh. Any other guitar players, by the way? Use only fingers or experience with a pick? But hope to hear you play something too, Keeper Josh, during the course of this podcast. And also regards to Keeper Eric. How are you, Keeper Eric?
Hello, Keeper Calvin. Hello, good day, everybody. Doing good.
Good day, Mike.
Good day, John. How are you doing?
Good.
Love your accent. Love your accent.
Wow. All right. Yes. By any chance, any other keepers or Keeper Eric, would you like to participate in What's in the Box?
Yes,
And or
of course.
would you rather?
Oh
Which
wait,
one?
could you resend it, please? Because it doesn't show when you join that type
Yeah.
of stuff. That's a good idea.
Wait.
Your British
Let's start now
accent.
too. I think my British accent is bad, but we're doing
Okay.
What's in the Box, by the way, Eric. And also AC.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in this box is, and then you could
Mm-hmm.
tell the truth or you could be lying about it.
Okay.
Anyone want to
okay.
have a go? Or shall we move on?
Mhm. Mhm.
Can I go?
Yeah, please
Yep.
Wow.
Go Keeper Skylar.
Okay,
With
so I have a special,
and keepers.
box. It plays music.
Wow.
It plays music.
Love the Britishness.
You're British.
Can you repeat
Crazy.
that?
We have
Sorry, I
some
was cutting you off. But I was gonna say also, go Keeper Skylar Wisdom Teeth.
Okay, so I have a special box. It plays music. And it looks like a suitcase. And it comes with things. It's like records. Yeah, you keep your records in it.
I'll say true.
True.
Fake.
I feel like half true. Anyone else go?
Probably I say a 6.5. True.
Everyone says true?
Okay, so
Lie.
it's true.
0.5, two
Oh.
and a half.
It's true. I've had my record player for like since Christmas last year. I've had my record player, and I'm expanding my record collection. And I have like really, really vintage old records from like the 50s and the 60s and 70s. But I don't play those as frequently as I play my other ones.
That is really cool,
I
Keeper
was gonna
Skylar.
say,
That's so cool. Wow.
that's awesome. You
I
barely
also-
That's
see.
amazing. right?
Wow. I also like vintage
Right?
stuff like that. Like film photography too. All that, like the old type of vintage kind of stuff. That's cool though. Wow. Go.
I like old cars.
John. Yeah, Skylar, that's awesome though. I don't think you see many people like many keepers you can say to have like vinyl records, right? You have a favorite, by the way, Skylers?
My favorite record that I have is from Tyler the Creator. I have the Igor record, but it's all thanks to my grandma because my grandma saved the records on purpose for like me and my sister. But now it's mostly going to me because I have a record player.
Oh, that's wholesome. And go Grandma Skylar as well. But yes, not only listening, but you also, by any chance, make your own music, Keeper Skylar? If I might ask.
I don't, but I do sing sometimes, but not most of the time. But it's
Hmm.
really hard right now because I have a very swollen jaw and face, and it's hard to open my mouth, so I can't really sing at the moment. But hopefully, after I get my wisdom teeth removed, I can sing more.
Oh, yeah, things. Let me just plug this in too. But
Every single
hope
person is
the
silent.
hope the anesthesia goes well, Keeper Skylar. And love your British accent too. So let's move on, shall we? Unless anyone, final ones for anyone? No. Hmm. Oh. Yes, so regards Skylar once again. But yes, let's move on, shall we? Before it gets too late, let's do what's the second one? Would you rather? Wow. So take it away, by the way, Keeper Josh. The one either with the video or the non-video. But you have would you rather's for us, Keeper Josh?
Okay, so
Maybe a few?
would you rather's? Um, you put me on a spot here. Actually, I don't have anything prepared. Let's just think of one. Uh,
We'll take turns
all
too.
right. So, would you rather lose the ability to see or lose the ability to hear?
Here.
Here.
Hair?
See.
See? What are
No,
what were the options again?
All right. So, would you rather not see for the rest of your life or not hear for the rest of your life?
Not here.
Really?
Not here.
And you
Yep.
can't hear like music or like people sharing, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, that's a nice one though, Josh. Wow. Yeah, sorry. This icebreaker too is just like one or two and then no added explanation. All right.
Yeah,
Explanation.
for me, I'd say I'd lose the ability to see because I can always just learn echolocation.
Mm.
Wow, prime
Yeah,
echolocation
that as well.
skills.
Any others? Keeper Josh.
More would you rather's, actually?
Yes, sir.
All right. Would you
Or
rather?
anyone.
Oh, all right. So, would you rather go back, like reset all your like age, like go back to, so essentially go back in time, but you keep your memories, or
Mm.
know what will happen in the future for everything? Like learn your future, I guess.
I'll go one. Two.
Two.
Nice one, Josh. Especially if they're on the
And
spot. I
2
know.
point
Let's do a third one. I was just thinking of one. Forgot it though.
2.2.
Um, Is everyone like done answering? Wait, did I see a lot of like twos
Oh,
actually? It is.
let's do one more and then move in and then move on.
All
Nice
right,
one, by the way, Josh. But
all right, all
would
right.
you rather get a summer job or go to summer school? One. Summer school? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
School? Wow.
2.5.
All right. Thank you, by the way. Keeper Josh, even though I put you on the spot, but always ready. And
It's kind of
yes. So, and then last one, would you
I
be
think
so kind
keeper
enough?
Eric actually
Oh, yes.
was raising his
Oh,
hand
okay.
earlier.
Sure, I just had one that I thought of. Okay. Would you rather be able to talk to any animal or play every instrument with good skill?
How would you
Talk,
do this?
You
I
get
don't
this on
know.
Google?
No,
It's a nice
I
one.
just thought of
No?
it. Yeah.
What's the
2.
first one?
And would you talk to any animal or play any instrument?
Play any instrument.
Wait,
I
wait.
have
So wait, keeper Eric. I would like to
Yes.
ask. So
Yes,
just
Josh.
talking or actually understanding?
Actually understand like the whole package that comes with communication, but it's with an
Mhm.
animal. You comprehend what they're saying and you talk to them.
One
I
or
think
two,
I'll pick.
everyone.
I think I'll pick that one because that can
Mm.
like give a lot of scientific discoveries and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
Hmm.
true. I choose two because I like music, but that's cool.
I mean, you have
Actually,
your whole life to like try to do that anyway.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You can't learn to
Eh,
talk to animals.
you can't talk to animals because they don't talk.
If you choose the one, the would you rather that you want to talk to them, then you can talk to all of them, because that's how it works. No, I'm just
Rick, once
kidding.
again, that's a nice one, nah?
Thank you.
I
Much
would rather play
Yeah.
Russian.
Oi, wait, really quick. I agree with Skylar. I wouldn't want my turtle. I wouldn't want to hear how much my turtle hates me. So regards to your dog also, Keeper Skylar.
That's funny. Oh my god.
Oi,
I think it's pretty funny.
I was
let's
gonna
move
say
on though.
the same thing. I didn't want to think that my dog hates me because he does some questionable things, and I don't want to know if he hates me or not.
Oh, but
Hmm.
like I have a
Skylar.
counter theory here. So if you know that your dog hates you, then that means that's a problem that you didn't know before when you don't know. So now that you know this problem, then you can fix it by talking to your dog, you know?
Hmm.
Show your talent.
Oi. Yes, and just like John said, is anyone willing for our fourth icebreaker? Show us your talent.
I
We'll
would rather
be
call it ice cream.
uh
Ice cream.
does anyone want to show us your talent either now or save it for later now? Anyone?
Made a dinosaur, and her name is Pam.
Which one, Skylar?
I made a dinosaur, and I named her Pam. It's a really big
Ah,
puppy.
are you able to show us maybe?
Tank.
No?
Great.
Oh, word. Skylar, this is like the first time I've seen you
Hey, I
put your
didn't
video on
see
Zoom.
you.
Yeah, I didn't even
I
know.
didn't see you.
Wow.
Wait,
You
you
made
made
that,
that?
Skylar?
I did make it.
That's awesome. Wow.
That's
I make
awesome, man.
I make a lot of things. This is Pam. I showed it to my mom, and my mom thought it was a llama. So I mean, it's something.
Wow. That's some talent though, Skylar. Wow. It's like show us your talent. And
I'm gonna go.
which one?
I was going. Okay.
Oh, that was funny too. Whoever said that's awesome, mate. All right, but who's next, by the way? Regards, Keeper Skyler. Glad you're willing to show us your, was it dinosaur?
Yes, it's a dinosaur named Kim, but
Wow.
my mom
I'm not
thinks
Go.
it's
going.
Mom.
But go Skyler Wisdom Teeth, Grandma Skyler, and Skyler Dinosaur. So who's next, by the way?
Okay.
Oh, sorry. John?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Go, John. What are you gonna show us today?
This.
You made something too, John Johns?
Yep.
What is it? You made that?
Yes, in school.
Wow,
What is it?
everyone's so no creative. Nice one, John. What is it, by the way? If I may ask. If
I
not, it's all
thought
good.
it's kind of like cliche, but cliche is not.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Nice, John. Yes. So give it up for John. And anyone else, by the way, want to show us your talent at the moment before we officially begin our discussion? Anyone? Once, twice? All right. We'll save it for later. I too also have a performance. It's just an audio. But once again, before it gets too late, let's have our discussion. So thank you for everyone's patience as well. And nice one once again for showing off your talent, Keeper Skyler, Keeper John. So, Keepers Club Podcast today, episode 48, Societal Pressure. Wow. So, some definitions we want to go over the words pressure, which is when you worry about living up to your own or other people's expectations, as well as the word worry, that dwell on difficulty or troubles, and a state of anxiety and uncertainty over actual or potential problems. Regards as well to everyone that recently graduated, right? But yes, let me lower this a bit. And we also wanted to talk about societal pressure, of course. We always try to have some kind of foundation, some research for every podcast. So, societal pressure includes expectations that affect the entire community or specific parts of it, such as the pressure to go to college, find a career, get married, have children, etc. Also, the demands, challenges, obstacles, and difficulties in your life that you may feel have no control over, or when you don't feel you have the time to do what is demanded of you, and can be categorized into money, health, or wellness. Health and wellness, lack of time together, pressure from work or education, and relationships. So, for our episode 48 question, would you kindly do the honors, our co-host Keeper Josh, declaring our question for today?
So, what pressure have you experienced as a youth? How can young people not lose themselves under societal pressure? How can keepers keep calm, take day by day instead of worrying about their future? So, wait, I just
Yes.
okay. So,
Yes. Thank you so much, by the way. I'm trying to move this full screen, but just like Keeper Josh said, thank you so much for reading it. And then I will copy and paste this question. But once again, societal pressures. So, what pressures have you experienced as a youth? How can young people not lose themselves under societal pressure? And how can keepers keep calm and take day by day instead of worrying about their future? Now, this is a very nice topic. Just coming from us, we're very glad to that we get to talk about this, open the floor to this, because especially after the school year, right? A lot of people, even even yours truly, even the co-host, many of us, many of the keepers, at Keepers Cup International, we have you know experienced stuff like this, right? Being worrying or wondering about our future, and then really thinking about what society, our parents, our friends, what's expected of us from society, or even what we put pressures upon ourselves. So feel comfortable, of course, but we'd like to open the floor once again and see if anyone's willing to maybe start it off, and only of course if you're comfortable, you're willing to share. But with that being said, let us take away this, and is anyone be so kind enough to maybe share?
All right. Before Cal, I would like to share for our topic to,
Go, Josh.
just start it off. So, what pressure have you experienced as a youth? For this one, um, uh, let's say I'm thinking of something. Let's say like a lot of people here are still at school, right? So school can be a societal pressure, So like basically, getting good grades and everything. It really puts a pressure because, maybe they're, especially when you're like regarded as, a top student or something. Oh, you're given the pressure to like do well because, it's like a session of your identity, but it isn't, So um like school is one of the big parts in there as a youth, you know, like even especially when you're not doing, when you don't have like, let's say um a lot of money or something, and you would want to try to study well and get, good grades, just do well in school so you can like apply to a good college, or like what do you call this, what was that called, scholarship, yeah, a scholarship, so you don't have to like pay that much. But that can put a lot of pressure as you're trying to um do well when everything is like hard. You get stressed essentially. So um what else, just also another pressure here is when you're getting older, as a
Okay.
youth, you're getting older, you're gonna become an adult, there's the pressure of, you know just many foreign things that you didn't have to worry about because you were, young, and there's just a lot of things that, you know uh you get to like just not see because, well, you didn't have that responsibility before. So yeah, um how can young people not lose themselves under societal pressure? Okay, so we're gonna skip this one because I don't know. But we're gonna talk about it. So maybe, hopefully. How can keepers keep calm and take day by day instead of worrying about their future? Okay, so here's what I think is a solution, because this is what I do to like not worry about the future. Just look at small things, like really look hard, and like just the smallest things. Just don't worry about what's coming. If you're like under that pressure, just think of the smallest things that you can improve on, and that's eventually gonna snowball into, just becoming a well functioning person. Well, that's also like under societal pressure, like the standards of being a well functioning citizen or just a human being is like under the judge of society. But just don't. Okay, I was gonna say just don't worry about it, but that's not really that's not really a solution here. But yeah, that's like mainly my view on this.
Yes, Josh. Regards to Mama Josh as well. That yes. Is anyone else, by the way? You like to answer short and concise now, or elaborate? Add on.
Can I answer?
Yes, Anthony.
The first question says, what pressure have you experienced as a youth? Um, I think, or just for me in general, I don't know about for other people, is not really becoming like the perfect child, but like getting good grades and being able to represent your people, your family. So that's a big pressure because everywhere you go, I mean, it's true. It's not just for family; it's for everything that you do or are associated with, right? So everywhere you go, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's what they're teaching you there in your family, in your house, or whatever." So, being able to perform in front of the people, just generally, is the pressure because you represent more than yourself. You represent your family, your parents, your culture, your people. So that, I guess, that's just a general pressure. But um for the next question, how can young people not lose themselves under societal pressure? uh have a foundation that you can always get back on. So it's just like or a boat, I guess. You're in the sea, which is life, and your boat is your foundation. It's where you can hold on to stay out of the deep end of the water, right? So what do you call this? So your boat is like your foundation. So everyone that that helps you get through whatever that you need to go through, or something that helps you get through, like music. Don't want to promote games, but for people it's games. So music, games, family members, cousins, friends, or generally for us it's kind of like music, because sometimes when we're sad we listen to sad music, when we're happy we listen to upbeat music, right? So you find those foundations, and that's where you hold on to. So when it rains, when the big waves come crashing at you, you can still find your way back to that boat, and keep yourself afloat, because once you let yourself get filled with the water of this world, you can easily lose yourself. But if you hold on to that boat, that's how you can um, stay afloat during in the midst of this societal pressure. Because it's not gonna be the end. You can still find your way back, but just make sure you have one that you can rely on. The one that doesn't have holes. If you get what I mean, as the boat representing, your foundation. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share.
Wow, nice one, Anthony. Yes, thank you for jumping in. Anyone else, by the way, you'd like to add, or any of the answer any of the questions, or share, elaborate?
I want to ask. Uh, uh, all
Josh.
right, so I have two devices actually, so I actually unmuted on the one. Okay, so I want to ask what your takes on this, Super Cal, about you know, this societal pressure, our topic.
Oh, yes. Oh wait, can you ask me a specific question, Keeper Josh?
So, as Keeper Anthony has said, you need these foundations to keep you afloat in this thing called we call the sea we call life. So, I was wondering, what boat do you have, or do you use to sail this ocean, or just something like that? Like, what are the things you do, or like, what are the things you think that would help keepers um, not lose themselves?
Oh, oh. This is how it feels to be put on the spot, though, right, Keeper Josh? But all I know is I'll probably think of that specific, answer for that specific question a little later on. But I do know that there's a lot of plus and negatives, goods and bads, benefits and downsides, of course, of societal pressure, right? For example, from that pressure, at least there's like some kind of direction, right? But it's crazy that at 18, as soon as you graduate high school, it's like boom, they throw you into the world and you're expected to, find a career, find like find a special someone maybe, um, stuff like that, right? And from that, it really trains you to really overcome or give up, right? For example, there's a lot of bad. People can panic. People can become destructive. They can cry. They can quit. They can really have a mental breakdown. But at the same time, being optimistic, there's always two sides. And the negative, or the positive example, or the positives, for example, is when you're nervous, you want to do good. You want to perform, right? Also, it's a privilege to struggle. It's a privilege, because you're being tested, you're being tried. Just like a podcast last week, we talked about through the fire. The more gold, the more fire. And you can think of it also that it's like a sense of love. You're able to keep going. You're able to live another day. You're trusted with whatever it is, whether it could be a responsibility, a job, further your education, a ministry. So that's what I want to say as of now. But how about you though, Keeper Josh?
Okay, so keep me. Okay, so I would say you know, I think there's a lot of people in this podcast right now listening in would appreciate your thoughts about growing up, becoming an adult. Like when you're like you said, when you turn 18, you're just expected to like function when all you've done so far is like hone in your like education, academics, basically. So I would like to like know how keepers would deal with just growing up and functioning within society as an adult, because a lot of people, I'm sure, like there are people here that are like worrying about this and like, oh, what's my like regarding to my would you rather? I saw a lot of like twos, like I want to know what my future is gonna be like, and the future can be like stressful and like you're gonna worry about what are you gonna do or something because like you don't want to like fail and just not function well, like you're working at a McDonald's or something. Sorry to all those who work at McDonald's, but anyway, yeah, but yeah, what's your like take on that?
Yes, Keeper Josh. Um, Thank you so much for that. But of course, let's open the floor to more keepers before they forget the train of thought, or especially if they've been waiting to answer. So thank you, Keeper Josh. And that being said, anyone else, by the way, or Keeper Isaiah, hope you can hear us. or if anyone like to jump in for our discussion. Keeper John, Angelo, Isaac, or Keeper Skyler, Keeper Rick, and Keeper Sherlin.
I can go.
Go, AC.
Okay. So just to answer the question, like, the first one is what pressure have you experienced as a youth? Well, to me, I'm not really sure if it's like if it counts as a pressure, but like, um, I'm pretty sure everyone has like taken a test at school and like got really anxious, and like ended up not finishing it. Well, to me, it happened once. It was actually this year. I was taking an AP test for computer science, like, and I was so ready. I was so sure that I was gonna finish it, but I ended up not finishing it. I don't know if that counts as a pressure, but that's like my only experience. And so for the next question, how can young people not lose themselves under societal pressure? Um, you know, there's like a lot of ways. First, um, you have to like you can try avoiding it in the first place. If you already know or feel that you're getting pressured or you're you're feeling it or you're gonna get it, you can just always like avoid it by um try doing something else or keep your mind out of it and um just like take and like do anything that's not related to that. You can like meditate. That's one thing that you can use to like get out of pressure. You can listen to meditation music, calming music, or and stuff like that, or you can just talk to anyone. And just also making sure to put yourself first, to take care of yourself first. And yeah.
Wow, Keeper AC. And of course, what it means to you. So I'm glad you're able to share that past example and go AC under pressure as well. So, Keeper Angelo and anyone else like to jump in for talking about societal pressure. Thank you, AC. How about you, John? Would you like to share?
It doesn't matter if you fail, because if you fail, then that's I forgot the word. Doesn't matter it doesn't matter whether you fail or pass. That's it.
Yes, it doesn't matter.
Yes, John. But may I ask, like, I like to think that I understand what you're saying, right? Like, because with failure, you learn, right? Or as long as like the lesson was there, or you're able to grow from it, because even the best of us, even the smartest or the most successful person in the world fails, right? But from that, it just comes from that comes whether you're able to overcome or uh, you know fall from the pressure, you can say.
You have to overcome it.
Yes, to be like a overcomer, right, John? Yes, and then in that moment, it's up to us if we're going to be an overcomer. So it's like a freedom of choice, you can say. So nice one, John.
And if you're tired at work, you can help yourself by meditating. You can rest, like Andy said.
Yes, to recharge. You can take care of yourself. do what makes you, um, what inspires you, or to be motivated and or disciplined. And just like someone said, to meditate. Whether that be like literally meditating, like, or it could be like praying. It could also be yoga, or whatever
And
whatever. Mm.
discipline is one of the positive fires.
Hmm. What do you mean, John?
So
John?
you have to overcome it.
Mm-hmm. Wow, John. John. And yes, thank you, John. John. Anyone else you like to share?
I want to add on to what I said earlier, and because also what John said.
What?
So you guys know how I was talking about a boat, and that boat being your family, friends, whoever. John remind me that they can all them being your boat can also be your fire. And I like what he said, positive fire, because um we always want something, like the result of something. We envision what it is, right? And we want that to happen, but sadly in life it doesn't happen, and that's not the way it should happen, because sometimes the way that we see it is wrong. And that boat of life that you're sailing with, that foundation, they can be your positive fire, because they can also lead you to the right path, saying, that's wrong, that's not, you should not make that kind of decision because you're gonna regret it later. Those are your positive fire, because society will make you feel a certain way of how you look, how you act, because they want you to fit the standard of their standard view of what a person should be like. But your people that make your boat can also be those that enlightens you, that shows you that, hey, this is not, you know just because everyone is saying that it's right, even if it's wrong, does not mean that you have to obey it. So that's the same thing, if it's wrong and everyone is doing it because they say that it's right, why be a follower? Be a leader of those that wants actual change. And for example, for societal pressure, people are gonna, if they have heavy influence on people, they can have the power to do whatever they want, but they can also use that power for, evil, for bad. And if you know that it's wrong, by their words, by their actions, even if you know that it's wrong and no one is speaking up, be their boat of life as well. Be their boat of foundation, because it's up to us to help each other, bring each other up, because life is gonna bring you down, and it's a battle between yourself and your will to keep fighting and keep going. So yeah, I just wanted to add that for my answer earlier. Good.
Yes, that's very nice, Anthony. Keeper Anthony. Very nice, actually. If I could add on too, I'll try to be short and sweet. But right, like young people like us today, maybe a pressure we have is, once again, not only the ones we put upon ourselves, right? Like, I have to get a job, I have to find a career, I have to make money, I have to make my parents proud, I have to uh, live on my own, right? Or even the pressure from maybe even your teachers, maybe from your friends, right? Or like the pressure of young people nowadays. It's like, I have to have a story every day. I have to make it look like I'm having a blast at a party, or I have to make sure I go to parties. I have to um I have to live for I have to keep working, and then it's as if I'm living for Friday night for parties, right? But if you fit a standard, if that's your desire, to fit that standard, then so be it. We're like good luck, and then like we'll support you. But of course, what if you choose to follow another standard? Find a standard where you feel like you belong. You feel like you can really you feel you can make an impact. Right? This life is only temporary. We're not gonna be here for so long. So it's really up to you what you're willing to dedicate your life to. What you're willing to put all that effort, energy, time, calling into. And even if people think it's weird, it's like it's whack, it's stupid. On the other hand, other people really see it as respectful. We're really praise it or really be inspired by it. And just like Anthony's saying, it reminds me of that quote, like travel the road less traveled. So and that belongingness that you can really feel, we found the belongingness in Keepers Club. We didn't have to strive to find that belongingness where people are, you know, partying, drinking, etc. So thank you, Keepers, for that, of course. And then they welcome you with open arms. So, but once again, we're very glad to hear that, Keeper Anthony. That being said, any other keeper you like to
I wanna
add on or
I wanna point
jump
out
in?
something uh from what you said, Keeper Calvin, that you know life is short, and sometimes that can also be a pressure for people. Like when you get reminded that life is not gonna be so long. The average like age is like, well, like 70 years old. I think that's the average, like longest you'll ever live, and that's like 70 years. And you're gonna be thinking like, well, I need to do something that's like extravagant. I need to do like awesome things. I need to make a change in the world or something like that, because life is short, life is temporary, and like you can't live forever because we don't have that power yet. So like you want to do something that's like, because life life is short, life is, and
Yes, John.
you wanna make the most of it. That's what I'm trying to say. You
Mm.
want to make the most of it, so that's why you would like try all these things, but like that's too much pressure into like failing. Oh, I died and I've done nothing. That's like very, that can give so much pressure for like a lot of people. And I just want to ask keepers here, how can people deal with that?
Yes, nice one, Josh. I'm glad you got your train of thought. And that's a very good point though, what you were saying. If that's your follow-up question, right? Being like, what do keepers think? It's a very hard question though, no? Right? But of course we like to hear your thoughts, all the keepers and the podcast before we officially come to a close. Yes, go Eric.
I'll go. So, hello everyone. I'm back. Sorry, I've been a little bit busy, but I'm here just to give a little bit more input. Um, so on the topic of pressure, what kind of pressure have you experienced as a youth? Well, there's a lot of types of pressure, right, that you can come across. You can come across like social pressure. That's a big one. We all know peer pressure. I think we did a topic on that a long time ago. Peer pressure, but it can also be stuff like your friends influencing you in a way that steers you in a bad direction. That happens a lot of the time when you're first entering middle school, at the time you're first being exposed to like more mature level stuff, and you have a young mind, so you don't know how to handle it properly. Therefore, you use what is given to you in a bad way. And the bad thing about that is that when you grow up, you can keep those bad habits or tendencies that you acquired when you were younger, when you didn't know how to do stuff well, and that can steer you over into adulthood and lead you into bad paths. I basically am just describing like a bad influence from your friends. It's like that kind of pressure to conform to what your friends want you to do. For example, your friends are like bullying some guy and you're also joining them because it's fun, or you don't want to, or you're too scared to be judged by them because you're not bullying that guy. That's the type of pressure that that I've experienced that before. Um, and also like you have school pressure. I know now school's out, thankfully, so we have more free time, but school pressure, it can pressure you on like assignments and all that type of stuff. It's also like societal pressure. That's a big thing with social media sometimes, like where like that whole body image fiasco thing that people experience on social media. Oh, there's a standard that I should live up to, a beauty standard, but in reality it's a toxic standard. It will cloud your mental health and make you perform worse. It will make you worry and everything. But how can we deal with all these problems? As this question says, how can young people not lose themselves under societal pressure? I think pressure will always come, right? There's some good pressure, there's some bad pressure. The bad pressure is what we have to move away from, like that body image thing or your friends having a bad influence on you. I think sometimes you have to make some tough decisions in terms of who you're being friends with. As we all know, whoever you're around, that's who you also become. So we have to be careful sometimes with that. Um, if you need to, if a friend is like steering you in a bad way, in a bad direction that you know you don't want to go, and they're like forcing you to do it, they're putting pressure on you to do it, then I would say just like either talk to them straight up bluntly about it, or like cut them off if you if that is your course of action, because it's better that you're prioritizing your own mental health over, you know, theirs, because they're not considering you, they're not being considerate. But sometimes with friends that you have to do that when they're putting too much pressure on you to like say, hey, I want a little bit of space, please stop. But as for other things like the like other social pressures, like in a more general picture, like society, like the body image thing, I think yourself from that from that like being enslaved to that standard. It's just like not caring so much about it, not letting yourself, you know, not letting yourself like get too much, not caring too much about it is what I'm trying to say. And it's stuff like that, like you delete social media. That's what I did a while back, just because I was wasting too much time on there. So I cut it off. It's putting too much pressure on me. And as for like school or like some other necessary societal pressures, we're all gonna have pressure put on us at one point. Like when you're 16, there's pressure on you to get a job right then and there, right? So for some of that, it's more like because it's not like something that'll be bad for you if you're gonna get a job. It's something that's being put pressure on you to help you so that you can become a functioning adult in society. So I'd say for that is to calm yourself down over those types of things and remind yourself that that type of pressure specifically is meant to help you instead of push you down or hurt you like those other kinds of bad societal pressures. But this relates into the next question. How can keepers keep calm, take it day by day, instead of worrying about their future? I try to do this a lot. In my own personal life, I'm trying to let myself stop worrying so far into the future. The way I do it, if just it comes up in my mind like something far off in the future, I'm just like, well, I shouldn't let that futuristic thing affect my day. Why should I suffer or make myself suffer before it's necessary to? I just push it off. Why should we suffer before our time? And even then, a lot of our mental worries, it's all in our imagination sometimes. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. So that's something also that I remind myself about. For in relating that to pressure, it's like you stop worrying about all these things that you see. Remember that there are other people. You have control on your own life. The other people putting pressure on you, if you just block them out in your own head and everything, you have control over that. You can control how they're influencing you, how they're affecting you, because you have the choice to alleviate that pressure or keep that pressure being placed on top of you. So, yeah, that's my input that I will talk about. And I thank you, Keeper Calvin, and everybody else for the opportunity to talk. So thank you.
Of course. Yes. And
Oh,
thank you, Keeper Eric.
I wanna say something. It's it's something I picked up from Keeper Eric's talk. It's that there is good pressure, and that I just had this realization that if it's not that pressure is all bad, but if you don't have like if you don't have pressure like at all, then how are you gonna do things? Like there's if there's no pressure, there's nothing that's like keeping you from, oh, I wanna like okay, so let's say you wanna do something that's like helpful, let's say just something for better. All right, let's do chores. Like okay, so you have chores. So you have chores, right? Um, as young people, many of us here. And these chores are placed upon us by usually our parents. And without that pressure, you let's say, oh, she came back and all of your chores aren't done. And then you get yelled at and everything. So without the pressure of do that, you're never gonna accomplish the chores that the responsibility that you've like been given, because there's no pressure. So let just like um yeah, so if there's no pressure, you're not gonna do anything, because there's no pressure. So um I just thought about that. And also a lot of what we're saying, I've heard, actually, I think this can actually relate to the topic. Uh, Overthinking. So a lot of people overthink because of the pressure. Like, overthink. Okay, so like I said earlier, I've been playing chess a lot recently, and so in competitive chess, there's a timer on like how long you have before you essentially like lose. So this timer adds the pressure for you to make moves, but this is like it's the root of like overthinking, like when you're thinking of something like, oh, what's he gonna do, and then you look at the clock and there's like he has 8 minutes and you have like three, so you're gonna start like panicking because of the pressure, because and also you've lost a lot of time because you've been overthinking. Now, overthinking, I've read this from somewhere, overthinking doesn't actually help you. Like the more you think about stuff, it's the more you're like the more it's not going to help. So a basic thing about this is like try walking, but think about every single move that you make, like every single muscle on your legs, like even the swaying of your arms. Just think about like doing that like consciously, and you'll see like how hard it is than just walking. So like the more you think, the more it negatively like affects your actions. So that's one thing that like to stop this thing from like pressure, working under pressure. So overthinking, you don't have to you don't have to overthink because it's bad for you.
It's Josh. Yes. Thank you, Josh. Nice one, Josh. But getting a little late now. Any final thoughts? Go, Rick.
I just wanted to say, Josh, because I can relate to that so much. When I first started driving, oh my gosh, you cannot overthink. Driving for me, it was like really because you know, my dad is teaching me how to drive, and my dad is kind of like a military drill instructor kind of guy. So he was like really hammering down on me what I should do. And it's like, oh my gosh, a lot of pressure on you. And you're on the road and it's your first time and you don't want to like hit anything. But it's like you can't overthink it because a lot of driving will just end up being subconscious. You don't even think about like the turn you make. Like, for example, I'm bad at right turns because it's a more narrower thing. So I just have to like go up to what feels right and then turn and then whatever else. But if I'm like looking at the steering wheel, if I'm like looking outside as well and I'm like judging how much I'm pressing on the gas and then also brake and then what else is also around me, it's like information overload. I can't work anymore. And your turn ends up being more worse than it has to. And I ended up cutting the corner and my dad yelled at me. So that's very true, Josh. I can relate to that much. So what I just doing now, I'm just focusing on my lane. That's it. Focusing on your lane and do what was taught of you and simplify everything. That's what my dad also taught me. He said simplify everything so it's not too complicated in your head, so you can do it faster. But yeah, that's my input. Thank you, Keeper Josh, for mentioning that.
Well, keep it, Eric. Nice one, Rick. And yes. My final thought though is just someone
Can I share?
yes. Yes, go
So
easy.
what's the
Sorry
question?
about that.
What's the question?
Oh, is that Frank?
Yeah.
What's the
Oh,
question?
yes. Long time no see, by the way, Frank. Frank, the question is,
I just saw you yesterday.
yeah, it was or 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, 2 days ago.
Oh, let me ask you a question.
We ate.
Huh?
Go. What's the question? You didn't
How
go
can
yesterday.
keepers
Okay.
keep calm and take day by day instead of worrying about the future?
About the future.
Yes, sir.
So instead of like with the father, instead of looking like to the future, like take a baby step, like small step at a time. And so
Mhm.
that's it. You don't have to, because sometimes we panic when we have too much load, right? Like, but in order to stay focused and be calm, you need to focus on one thing first to the father, and then finish that one, and then jump to another one. But in order to do that, you need to like make a plan, like prioritize what to do and what not to do. So pick the father, and then always always double check, like if I do this, if I what will happen, and then should I do this before you taking the action? Yeah, that's it.
Yes, and Frank, you said you have time though? No.
Huh?
you said praise the Father. So I'm wondering why is it important to trust God? Like why is it as young people, you know, a lot of times we worry, but how come
Yeah.
we should learn to trust him?
So because sometimes there's a situation or circumstance that cannot control. So if you cannot control it, give it to someone who have greater control, which is God, right? So whatever
Into that.
happens, let's praise God because we know God is always watching upon us, right? God is always in control. So we have to face our Father in good times and in bad times. Okay.
Yes, sir. Been a minute since we've seen you, by the way, Frank, in the podcast. So thank you for that
Yes.
surprise response and joining. I was wondering, I was
Surprise.
like, yeah, goalkeeper Frank. Any last
So peace of
words?
Father. Huh?
Any final thoughts?
Uh, so I think that's it.
But yes, keeper Frank, and then for all the keepers, of course, you know, so just want to emphasize, you know, the doctrine that we share doesn't come from me,
Mute
doesn't
na.
come from right. Yes, amen. Or I mean, it comes from Keepers Club, right? And then the doctrine that we follow, you know, truly the love of God. So that's why too, when young people like us, sometimes we worry, you know, what's gonna happen in the future. What should I do, you know, to be successful or to find a special someone, to have a family, find a career. But of course, as we try to do our part, sometimes also just take day by day so you don't overthink, so you don't have to worry, right? And of course, don't even trust yourself. Trust who? The one who created us. And of course, for young people like all of us, even you know, just we all have a calling, right? We're religious or anything like that. It truly is, you know, acknowledging the fact that we were all born with a calling in our lives, of gifts in our lives, and to really use it for the community, use it for, you know, benefit of ourselves, and of course also to not forget to give back to who blessed us with it, right? And especially as young people, especially, you know, graduating from high school or graduating elementary school or still figuring out your way or your desire in life, right? We always emphasize you don't sometimes you don't have to look to your left or right, in front of you, behind you. Sometimes all you got to do is look up. And that being said, take it also from, you know, your Kuya Calvin, day by day. I remember being like 18, 19, worrying hardcore. It's like, oh, I want to go here. I want to go to this country. And then from there, what if I have this calling or this desire, you know what? I'm going to go hardcore, full on, leave everything behind, right? I was only like 19 at the time. Now I'm like 25. And you know, I can thank God that, you know, I'm doing good at the moment. You know, I'm still doing my part. I'm still doing my priorities, my responsibilities. And that's why too, you know, if you if you're going to do that, then great, you know, of course, you know, praise God. But of course, just day by day, you know, don't beat yourself up too. And, you know, step by step you can say, but that's why too there's a lot of pressures on, and sometimes it's you're the only one putting that pressure upon yourself, you know. So that's why day by day, that's something I was corrected on also from my quiz and athis, you know, just like take a breather, you know, chill out too, and then everything will be all right. Don't worry, be full of trust, do your part, do your job, and you know, don't lose yourself as well. Don't lose yourself in the course of your responsibility, your, you know, the things that you were entrusted to. Don't lose yourself, meaning don't, you know, don't be attached to what comes from it. Not money, not, you know, the beautiful people you meet. Don't you know, don't lose yourself. Remember your goal, remember why you started. Don't give up, be an overcomer, right? And it's a lot easier said than done. And all of us are working on it, even yours truly. But of course, that's what we want to emphasize. Of course, the third time, and to really exaggerate, this doctrine doesn't come from us; it comes from, Keepers Club. So I think, last thing for me, I swear, I just think Keepers Club, because it really is a privilege. It really is a privilege, because I remember thinking that, I remember worrying like, okay, how come there's no keepers anymore? I even watching the trailer. There's so many keepers. There's a whole screen. There's 20, 25, 30 even keepers. It looks like, right? But the group photos now, even though it might be, select 5 or select 10, I'm glad. I couldn't be happier, because it's always quality over quantity. And that's what our founding president, recently I recently heard our founding president say that, and it really struck a chord with me. I'm glad to even have a couple of keepers who are willing to share, who are open, who are participating, rather than having 50 keepers, no video, no mic, no anything. So thank you to Keepers Club. Thank you to everyone always joining. And if, of course, there's always a freedom of choice. You don't have to join, you don't have to speak, but we're forever grateful to those who do speak, who do show their video, who do participate, who do show off their talent, who can be a blessing to other keepers, right? And if the keepers that have joined before, they don't want to take it seriously, they don't want to join, we'll take it seriously, we'll do our part to give back to Keepers Club. So it's always just giving back, really thinking, the love that Keepers Club instilled on all of us, and this is always the bare minimum we could ever do. So none of the glory to me. Who am I? I'm just typing a ton of stuff on the presentations. If anything, shout out to all of you guys always joining, and of course, shout out to our beloved founding president, Paulo Kibaloy. He's also a pastor. So that being said, any final thoughts before we move on with a show us your talent?
All right, Keeper Calvin. I
Josh.
have a final thought, and I think
Running straight
everybody
now.
should hear this.
Getting late. Or
Okay, so
your co-host. So go, Josh.
all right, so I'll make this brief, but I think everybody should listen to this. So I've picked this up from a lot of the speeches and a lot of the talks that have been made, and I think it's just that main line: don't focus on the future, focus on the present. Control do Focus on the things that you can control, and stop worrying about the things you can't control, because the things that you can control are the things that you can change, and that's the things that you know that the things that basically what you can do. And if you can't do something about it, well, that's not your fault. So just don't worry about the things that are not your fault, and start worrying about the things that you can control. And that if you and the thing is, you really need to know what things that you can control. Like, anyway, just know the things that you can control, because that's the thing that is most important when you're feeling pressure. Well, just like what Kia Frank said earlier, is that it's small steps. Think about the little things first. Just don't worry about the pressure. Focus on the things that you can control. And if you want to change something, focus on. I can't stress this enough. Focus on the things that you can control. Like when you want to change something that you have control over, basically. And that's probably it. That's probably my best answer so far.
Yes, Josh. Thank you once again. Final thoughts for co-hosting as well. And nice one, Josh, for you to host a third time, I believe. Right? Yeah. So
I think so.
pretty sure. I remember you asked the second time. We're looking forward to more keepers to host, especially those who've never hosted before, and especially the girl keepers. Right? So all right. Shall we move on? Or any other wholesome last final notes? Words? Nice one, by the way, Keeper Josh. Okay, nah. So thank you too. I was saying before it gets too late, but it is late anyway, so if you want to speak, it's all good because okay, hold up. All right. That's a nice episode so far, no? So, how was this episode? Any questions, comments, concerns, or violent reactions? But of course, feel free to check out our social media pages, battling depression, anxiety, create peace and stability, belongingness, and family. And of course, right, Keeper Josh, the Keepers Club podcast. What's our can you kindly give some more info?
All right. So for our Keepers Club podcast, you can listen in through Zoom, uh, YouTube, and um, just I think.
Yes. Yes. But yes, talks of the struggles of being a youth in today's society. And any questions, comments, concerns, violent reactions? Feel free. Forever hold your peace. Okay, so no violent reactions, and hopefully stays that way. But yes, now it is time for show us your talents. So whatever it is, singing, guitar, dancing, pre-recorded version, making music, would anyone be willing to go? Oh, someone raised a hand. That keeper Anthony.
Yes.
Yes, Don. And
Yes.
Ant, kindly let us know when you're ready. Oh wow.
Ready? I have my
You ready?
trusty letter. Yes.
Okay. Wait. You ready though? Let us welcome you.
Okay, wait.
Yes. So let's give the
Give me
floor
1
to
second,
Keeper
real
Ant.
quick.
Oh, you're good. You're good. But everyone else, well, I have one too. But please prepare, so we can give you a round of applause, and then you can show us your talent. But of course, hope everyone is enjoying the episode as well, and hope you've been well as well. Keeper Sherlin, Keeper Isaac, you good? All right,
Yeah.
let's give it up for Keeper Anthony. Woo!
You guys can hear it okay?
Yeah, yeah, sounds good.
Okay. It's a new day. Every dawn is a new sunrise. Every beauty he placed here for me. Every day is a new day. Every journey is by my side. Forever will I sing how my life was changed. Every day is a new day. Every journey is by my side. Forever will I sing how my life was changed. Every day is a new day. Every journey is by my side. Forever will I sing how my life was changed. It's a new day. It's a new day. That's it. So funny.
Oh, nice one, Anthony. Woo! It's a nice song too. Nice one, Tom. Very nice too. Regarding our topic today, right? Every day is a new day, So you ever having a bad day, there's another one tomorrow. So nice one, Anthony. Anyone else, by the way? Nice one, Alan. Right. Any other keepers to show us your talent? No? All right, I'll go. Here's my not. It's like, I think 2 minutes. But here we go. Also relates Thank you, Anthony, because it kind of relates to our topic. But this one is called Cherish from I'll just let you guys hear it.
Cherish. We spend a lot of time worrying of the past or what may happen next. Have we taken a moment to think it? For the present we're living in today. Though he can easily take them away. Why not be thankful every day? Whether they make us smile or whether they make us grow. I'll cherish all my blessings, even if they just become a memory.
Oh, MG.
The ending.
That last note was amazing.
Oh yes.
I didn't even think I could reach that high. That is wow.
Okay, Colin, did you make that?
The city of our God.
Yeah, never in a million years would I think ever showing that to anyone, yet alone the podcast. But yes,
It was great. It was great.
that being said, ikaw din, Tom. But anyone else first, show us your talent. Thank you as well, KCP, for the lyrics. They kind of relate to the topic. Any other talent? No. Keeper John, Josh, Angelo, Eric, Josh, Sherlin, Isaiah.
I'm performing a surgery on my guitar right now, actually. So I can't really do it.
All good. Nice and Josh. But let us. Should we have our closing? Shall we? So, we can do this. Thank you as well for listening to our performances, and also Keeper Anthony for jumping in, of course, too. So,
And
Yes.
we will be blessed every single day.
yes. So, once again, shout outs, all the new faces, returning keepers, Keepers Cup International, President Keepers Club, and any other shout outs. None.
Shout out to Ken Frank.
John. We're speaking Tagalog.
Speaking a little bit.
Yeah,
It's
go
nice
John.
to see another bilingual.
Shout out to you, John.
Shout
Keeper
out
Josh. Oh yes.
to my friends.
Wow.
Shout out to Shout out to all the people in Zoom.
Oh. Shout out also, Keeper Isaiah. Nice seeing you. Shout out to Keeper Anthony on the uki or the guitar. And
I want to give a shout out to Kev Frank.
Oh yeah. It's been a minute too. I just seen him yesterday or 2 days ago. But and thank you of course to shout out to Keepers Cup podcast. It really is a privilege, you know. And I wish like you know, a high school year old Calvin would had a podcast like this, you know. So I'm glad we're able to be here, you know, to share a bit as well for share about topics we don't get to talk about or learn about as much as we should. So thank you, Keepers Cup podcast and all the keepers. And that being said, may we all have a group photo. Oh.
Smile and peace.
Yes, we'll do
A
two.
peaceful day today.
I'll record this time too. But kindly open your video, Keeper. Even
Eric.
for a second, Keeper Eric, Keeper Sherlyn, if you're there. But let's all have a group photo. So let's do like a normal one. We'll love to see everyone's beautiful faces, of course. And yes, so let's do hey Eric, let's do
it, Papa Store.
Oh, Keeper Isaac's here too. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and then we'll start smiling. But ready, 3, 2, Keeper Isaac, we're gonna take a picture. 1. Isaac, right on time. Let's do okay for keepers. Nah. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What is this song? But yes, everyone. So once again, we are the Keepers Cup podcast, a podcast to help guide, encourage, uplift young adults like us who are tuning in, as we will do whatever it takes to share the love that we experience individually and as a group. And we love to also thank the founding president of Keepers Cup International for this opportunity, great privilege, and trustment for this Keepers Cup inspired podcast. And thank you to all the keepers that have joined today, and as well as the viewer at home. And we highly recommend that you reach out to your Keepers Cup International in your area. You never know. There might be keepers that you didn't even know existed, or Keepers Club in your respective state, continent, country, and we have no doubt that they will welcome you with open arms as they did with us. So that being said, hope to see everyone for our next episode next week, episode 49. And don't forget, I am my brother's keeper. Ooh. Nice one, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, Brother Blaze.
Good night.
Bye, Shirley.
Bye, everybody.
Everyone.